My name is Jessica, and I will be identifying the cranial bones of the skull. So, first off, I have a list of each bone that I'm going to define. So, for the first bone, we have the frontal bone, which is located right here. Then we have the parietal bone, which are these two side bones right here. Then we have the temporal bone, which is located right here on the side of the skull. The occipital bone is the backbone of the skull, right here. Then we have the coronal suture, which is located in the front, as you can see right there, around the frontal bone. And the sagittal suture, which splits the skull down the middle. Then the squamous suture, which runs down the side of the head, which is right there. We have the lamboid suture, which is in the back and goes into the shape of a Y. We have the nasal bone, the maxilla bone, then the mandible bone, which is also known as the jaw, the mental foramen, just like the side of the jaw and the chin. Then we have the mandibular ramus, which is the side of the top jaw, mandibular notch, which is the dip where the jaw is. And the mandibular condyle is this top little point right here, connects the jaw to the skull. Then we have this notch is the coronoid process of the mandible. The zygomatic bones are the cheekbones. Then the syphenoid bone is like the temporal bone on the side of the skull, located in here. And the isthmoid bone is located right in here on the inside of the skull. And we have the lacrimal bone, which is like eye socket bone. And the nasolacrimal, which is right around here. And then the supraorbital foramen, which is right here, the bone above the eye socket. The inferior orbital foramen, which is below the eye socket. The superior orbital fissure is inside the eye cavity, up here. The inferior orbital fissure is down here. Okay, turn the page. The vomer bone is this bone right here, the bottom, very bottom of the nose. Perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone is right there inside the nasal cavity. We have the middle and inferior conch, anterior nasal spine, which is located right there. And since you can't see inside the skull, I do dots on the back to represent each bone. So this is the external auditory meatus. The glabella is the forehead, right in here. And the optic canal, which is where the eye is, the eye socket. Then the foramen ovale, I have listed right here, these two little dots. And the foramen lacrium are right here. The carotid canal, which is right there. The jugular foramen, which is located under the carotid canal. The palatine bone is the palate of the teeth, which is right here. And this little dot right here is the incisive fossa. And we have the foramen magnum, which is this big circle right here on the back of the skull. The mastoid process is located right in here. And then the styloid process is located right beside of it, and at the bottom, and it's usually a bone that sticks out. And then the stylomastoid foramen, which is this little dot right here, the side of the jugular foramen. And for the last four, since I couldn't get inside of the skull, I took a picture of where each bone was. So this is the crista galla, the pink where the arrow is. And the cribriform plate is where the arrow is pointing to. And the sella tertia, also where the arrow is pointing to. And then the internal auditory meatus is on two sides of inside of the skull. And that is all the cranial bone.